Welcome back students. I am your SST teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. So students, today we are going to start our fourth unit in first book which is Fundamentals of Physical Geography, and the unit is Climate. So students, as you know, the climate is a mixture of different type of things. So in that series we will see the 8th chapter of that unit, and the chapter is composition and structure of atmosphere. So students, the chapter structure and the composition of atmosphere is containing various topics which are as follows. Let's see the topics. So students, first of all we will see our first topic, that is introduction of the chapter, in which we will see what is atmosphere. Then second, we will see the second topic of our chapter, that is the composition of the atmosphere. And after that, the next heading will be the gases which are forming a atmosphere. After the topic gases, we will see our next topic, that is water vapors. So students, as you know that water vapors are also an important part of our atmosphere, so it will be our next topic. And after the water vapors, we will see our next topic, that is the dust particles. That in our atmosphere there are few dust particles as well, so that will be also a important topic. So students, next the topic will be the structure of our atmosphere. As you know, there is a structure of our atmosphere which is divided into 5 major parts, and few sub parts are also there. So that we will see in the structure of our atmosphere. And our last topic will be the elements of weather and the climate. So students, as you know, the chapter is depend upon the unit climate. So the atmosphere is a most important part of our climate. So we will start with the chapter atmosphere, and we will see how the atmosphere is affecting to our climate. So let's start our chapter with our first topic, that is introduction of the atmosphere. So students, as you know, the air is not visible to us, and the human beings can't live without the air. And the air is only the thing which is separating to our earth from the other planets, including the air. Water is also there. So students, if we talk about the air is a gaseous particle which is containing the different type of elements which are known as the gases. So students, if you will see the structure of the air, the major gases which are in a plenty amount, these are nitrogen and the oxygen, as the amount of nitrogen is 78% and the amount of oxygen gas, that is 21%. And 1% gases are the carbon dioxide, neon, xenon and hydrogen, some water vapors and some dust particle, which we will see in our coming topics. So students, what we can say, the air which is known as atmosphere, it is the most essential part of our life, because without air we can't survive. So students, let's see what is our atmosphere. Students, if we say about atmosphere, a thick layer of different type of gases which is surrounded or which is wrapped to all over the earth, it is known as atmosphere. In a proper definition, we can say that the envelope of air that completely surrounds the earth, it is called the atmosphere, and it is a very significant component for the biospheric ecosystem, as without the atmosphere we can't imagine the life of our earth. So students, as you know, our atmosphere is a most important part of our ecosystem. So what is the structure of our atmosphere? It is a most essential part of our ecosystem as well as our biosphere. So atmosphere is also having a structure, which we will see in our next topic, that will be the structure of atmosphere. But in short, we can say the atmosphere, it extends up to 100 kilometer above the Earth's surface. And if we talk about the thickness of our atmosphere, it is a thick gaseous envelope which wraps over the earth from all sides, not only one side. It is wrapped over the earth from all the sides. So students, our atmosphere is a composition of different gases, which I told you in a short glance, but now we will see in a chart that what are the important gases which are composing our atmosphere. So let's see our next topic, that is the composition of our atmosphere. Students, as already I told you, our atmosphere is a composition of different type of gases. So as you can see on the board, here are total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9 gases are there, which are the major part, or which we can say which are the components of our atmosphere. These gases are nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, krypton, xenon, and the hydrogen. So students, these are the major gases and these are the formulas of these gases. As nitrogen is known as N2, oxygen is known as the O2, argon is known as the Ar, carbon dioxide is known as the CO2, neon Ne, helium He, krypton Kr, xenon Xe, and hydrogen H2. Okay, so students, the amount of these gases, it is also in the different types. If we talk about the major gases, the two gases are the major gases. These are the nitrogen and the oxygen. And if you see the percentage by volume, the percentage of nitrogen is this is 78.08%, and the oxygen's amount is 20.95%. If we talk about the amount of argon, it is 0.93%. Then after that, carbon dioxide, it is 0.036%. Neon is 0.002%, and see the helium is 0.0005%. After that, krypton is there, that is 0.001%. Then after that, the xenon is there, that is 0.00009%. At the last, the smallest amount of hydrogen is there, that is 0.00005%. So students, all the gases are the essential part of our atmosphere, but the most important part of our atmosphere, these are the nitrogen and the oxygen, as the oxygen is a required gas for human breathing, and the nitrogen is the gas which is controlling to oxygen, because oxygen is also helping to inflaming, or we can say to help to burn the fire. So the nitrogen and the carbon dioxide are the gases which are controlling the oxygen, and we can say if the amount of oxygen will be more than the nitrogen, so might be, as you know, the insects, these are having a amount of oxygen in their body, so the insect can be larger size compared than the human beings. Might be you have seen in many movies about that insects are in a big size. So the oxygen is in limited amount, that is 20.95%. That is due to that reason only, that because if the oxygen will be in the more amount compared than the nitrogen, so it will be harmful for the human survival. And students, these all the gases are important gases. So if we talk about the nitrogen, why the nitrogen is in this amount? First of all, the nitrogen is controlling the oxygen. Secondly, nitrogen is an essential gas to grow the plants. The nitrogen is the most important gas for growing plants. And if you talk about the carbon dioxide is also important gas which is helping to we can say the respiration which we are saying of the plant system, okay, which already you have studied in your bio classes. So students, few gases are there which are non-reactive gases. These are the argon and the neon, the helium and the xenon. These all are the non-reactive gases. These are total 6. Here only 4 are there, and that after that the hydrogen is there. Hydrogen, H2, it is also an important gas which is helping to maintain the decorum of our atmosphere. So students, that is the structure of our atmosphere. So if you want to note down, you can note down this. So students, as I told you, a composition of our atmosphere. So what is the benefit of that composition? As about nitrogen, oxygen and the carbon dioxide, I already told these are the most important gases for our atmosphere and as well as for the human and the plant survival. So students, secondly, we can say that there are the gases which are helping to us to survive. As you know that Earth is a planet in our solar system, and there are many kind of activities which are occurring in our this environment, and we can say in our universe. So to protecting from these type of activities, our atmosphere is a coating around our earth which is protecting us from the different type of activities. How it is protecting, we will see in our next topic, that is the structure of atmosphere. But right now we will see what are the benefits of the composition of our atmosphere. So students, one more important gas was there that I have not mentioned, but it is having a small amount, that is ozone. Which formula is O3. So students, the ozone is also a most important part of our atmosphere. Why so? Because the ozone layer is protecting our earth from the ultraviolet rays which are coming from the sun. And if the ozone layer will not be there, so human beings can't survive. So ozone is also an important part of our atmosphere. So students, after the gases and the composition of our atmosphere, there is one more important part of our atmosphere that is known as the water vapors. So I think so you must be wondering what is the work of the water vapors in our atmosphere. So students, the water vapors are not occurring only the evaporation from the sea or the lake or the rivers. It is already exists in our atmosphere. The water vapors, these are helping to create a moisture in our atmosphere, due to which the harmful airs are not affecting to the human beings. If we talk about the another work of water vapors, these are also helping in the condensation process while the evaporate water is condensing in our atmosphere. That time the water vapors which are already exist in our atmosphere, these are helping in that activity, and which is become in the activity of precipitation. So students, the another work of water vapors is to protect our earth from the radiant heat of the sun. So students, what is the radiant heat? Radiant heat is occurring due to the insolation process, about which we will know in our upcoming chapters. In short, we can say insolation is a process in which the earth is absorbing the heat of our sun. So that process is known as the insolation process. So students, the water vapors are also an important part which are helping to maintain the temperature of our atmosphere as well as the temperature of our earth. And the next part of our atmosphere, that is the dust particles. The dust particle also a part of our atmosphere, which are consisting in the lower part of our atmosphere, which is known as the thermosphere. So students, how the dust particles are occurring in our thermosphere. The dust particles, as you know, that the thermosphere is a lower part of our atmosphere, and it is just near around our Earth's surface. So the dust particle which are in which we found in our troposphere, or we can say in our atmosphere, these are occurring from the smoke and the evaporation process. A little bit amount of salt is also there, the dust is also there, and many type of activities like soil erosion through the wind process, in which the wind is taking up the soil from one place to other place. Due to that activities, the dust particles are consisting in our atmosphere, and these are not so much helpful, but these are helping in the process of the condensation. So that is only the work of the dust particles. And students, that is the composition of our atmosphere, in which we have studied the major gases of our atmosphere, the minor gases of our atmosphere, the work of the different type of gases, and after the gases we have seen the dust particles and the water vapors in our today's topic. Students, in our next topic, in the second part of our video, we will see the second part of this chapter, that is the structure of atmosphere. In short, the atmosphere is divided into 5 major parts. These are the troposphere, stratosphere, then after that the mesosphere, then the thermosphere, and at the last the exosphere, which is the outer part of our atmosphere, and the inner part of our atmosphere is troposphere. So what are these different type of spheres in our atmosphere, and how these are working, that we will know in our next upcoming videos. So for that, students, keep watching SST June.